Hi, it's Sherry, and welcome to Home Health and Heart. I am bringing something very, very different today, but it's something that has really been helping me during my recovery process from total knee replacement surgery. So I thought I would pass it along. Now, first, I've got to say that I'm not a doctor. I am not any kind of yogi master. I am not a meditation teacher. I have none of those credentials, right? This is just me sharing mindful breathing practices that have helped me do what needs to be done with my rehab without being in total pain and with being able to get to the time length or the repetition length that I was assigned by my therapist. Okay, so one of the things that I have to do, and this is to work on my straightening of my joint, and that is to lay down on my back, like say on the sofa, and I put a roll of some sort. I use like probably about like that, a hard plastic, like a yoga roll. I don't even know what you call it. One of the reasons they sell it is to like roll over your IT band and loosen it up and stuff. So that's what it is. And I can share the link below if you like. So I use that. I put my ankles, not right at my ankles, but I put the roll like right here on my feet. So this is my foot, this is my leg, this is my ankle. So I put it there, my surgical leg, and I have to lay there for 10 minutes. Now, while I'm laying there, let's say this is my knee joint. While I'm laying there, there is a heavy weight on my knee that's pushing down. So it can be painful if your straightening is not all together there yet, which I'm not. So getting through 10 minutes at physical therapy and at home has been a real issue for me because I have been experiencing lots of pain in my hamstring, which is the muscles behind your knee joint. So I thought to myself, there's got to be something I can think or do or whatever to take my mind off the pain and allow myself to get to the 10 minutes. Number one, get through the whole 10 minutes because I wasn't for a long time, and to get to the whole 10 minutes without being really uncomfortable and in pain. So I'm calling this mindful breathing. Here again, I am no kind of doctor, guru, or anything. This is what I call it. I have long time believed that you can get through a lot just by making sure that you keep your brain clear. And that's hard, especially at physical therapy. Like here at home, I live by myself. I put on some meditation music. I can be in it, no problem. At physical therapy, it's a little harder because there's like 4 therapists in the room and all their clients, and people are laughing or groaning or whatever they're doing, or their PT is giving them instructions, and it's noisy. So this is not necessarily meditation, but I'm calling it meditative breathing because it's about doing something rhythmically to block your brain from thinking of other things like pain and the passage of time. So I started with just the breath, and that is to take a really deep breath in, and I usually do a 4 count. I'll try it with number, okay? Okay? That by itself was fine at home, but it wasn't enough at PT. Now, you got to know that I am a person that I don't care if I'm looking stupid or if I'm doing something that somebody else isn't doing at PT and people are going to look at me. I don't care. I used to care a lot, but I don't care anymore. So, what I started realizing is that I needed to add a rhythmic movement to the rhythmic breath to really cancel out my brain from thinking about pain and the passage of time. Because I used to ask Ross, my PT, how much time left? How much time left? How much time left? And that is really counterproductive. So I don't ask him at all anymore. He's off usually working with another patient while I'm doing this because it's just 10 minutes of dead time while I lay there with my ankle up on this thing. So what I started doing was a combination of hand gestures. So it can be as simple if you're laying down on a mat or on a couch or on a bed, or if you're at physical therapy and you're laying down on a fitness table, a therapy table. It's as simple as doing something like this along with the breaths. So, your brain has to think about breathing and counting your breath, and your brain has to think about doing the gesture, and your brain has to think about coordinating the gesture to the breath. While it's doing all that, it can't think of pain. I mean, if the pain is bad enough, I suppose. It is not going to be thinking as much about pain, and it's certainly not going to be thinking as much about the passage of time. Now, sometimes I do something really small like that, just laying on my side and lifting my hands up like people around the room would hardly even notice. Other times I do a grander gesture, I guess you could say. So what I do a lot is I'm always laying on my back. And so what I tend to do is I do a breathe in gesture and a breathe out gesture. And you can make that whatever it is you want, okay? So I do, for my breathe in, I do something like 1, 2, 3, 4, breathe out, 1, 2, 3, 4, and I'm pushing my hands toward each other as if there is a force in between my hands that won't let them touch. Okay, so I'm going 3, 4, 3, 4, 3, 4, 3, 4. Okay, so I've done it even bigger than that. I've done like the whole circle, but I've found that I don't need to now. I normally can't do with just laying on my back and doing this. That doesn't usually do it, but this always does. In fact, the other day, I mean, eventually somebody's going to ask, like, what the hell are you doing, right? But the other day, one of the other physical therapists came to get something out of the fridge, like a cold pack or something. And he said, Sherry, you doing okay? And I guess by the breathing, he maybe thought I was in really a lot of pain. And I stopped and I said, just mindful breathing that I made up to get through the 10 minutes without pain. He said, oh, now I've interrupted you. And sure enough, just in that brief exchange, the pain came roaring back in my knee. But once I got started again with my rhythmic hands and my rhythmic breathing, and you can do the breath any way you want. You read all different kinds of things about, breath needs to be in and out your nose, whatever. I happen to like in the nose and out the mouth. That just happens to be my choice. You can do whatever the heck you want. So I just thought I would share this. And you can, like I said, you can make it as big. If you're home alone, do this if you want. I don't, like, make it big. Whatever is going to help you get through that. And I'm using it to get through, especially the 10-minute one, but the other one is where I pull the strap, I put the strap on my shoe, and I pull my foot as close to my butt as I can get it, and that hurts like holy hell. And I only have to do it 5 times, but I have to hold it for 20 seconds each. So I don't have my hand, I have one hand available. And I can use the strap, and I can put the strap around my neck and use one hand to do that. So I have actually done some of this with the other hand to kind of cut down on the pain during that 20-second hold, because it can really hurt. So if is something that you have to do, like even maybe like a chemo treatment, or I don't know what a chemo treatment feels like because I haven't had one, but I mean, if there's anything that that is painful for you or uncomfortable for you, try the breathing and the gestures to see if you can get your brain quiet enough that it will stop thinking about pain and the passage of time, or whatever it is that you're wanting to quiet your mind about. It has really, really been helpful for me. I've been doing it for a good, I would say, 5 weeks of the 10 weeks of PT. And what a difference. I used to have to say, and I hate giving up. Ooh, I hate giving up. But before I started figuring this out, I'd get to like 6.5 minutes and I'd say tap out. And that means for him to come take the weight off of my ankle so that I can put my ankle back down on the table, which hurts like holy hell too. So, like I said, this is not a prescription for a specific thing. The breath is rhythmic, the motions are rhythmic. Beyond that, you do what works for you, right? But I hope that if you will try it, it will help you with pain or with getting through whatever it is that you have to do, especially if you are recovering from a surgery, a broken bone, whatever the case may be, and there are certain exercises you need to do that are pretty unpleasant. And that is it for right now. Take care, be well, and always be yourself. Being authentic, we never used to think about authenticity when I was young. Who thought about that, right? It's kind of a wah-wah word, but it isn't really. It's about being exactly who you are all the time. When you say stuff, it reflects who you are, and that works for me, and that's who I love being. Bye.